questions ready, guys. Eating leftover KFC. What's up, guys? Um, I was not prepared. I was not prepared whatsoever to do a show tonight, but I never found out anything until right at the last second. So I'm chowing down on some leftover KFC. Now, I noticed a lot of people asking questions. Small questions, and the guys at Kicker do a great job at answering questions, but they're not able to get to everything. Another thing is, I don't know hardly anything about Kicker's current lineup or their current product offerings, so I can't help in that department. However, it could be that there are people that show up in chat that will help you. Unfortunately, Andy is not feeling well, so there's that. I did notice something interesting, though. And I know the lighting is turned down right now. That's because I'm eating. You know, it's just chill, man. We're just chilling out, and I'm eating dinner. It is what it is. But there was one thing that popped up that we can talk about right away, and that was the ANC feature. So there's two types of ANC, or automatic noise canceling. One type we're using right now, and that is this software that I use, Restream, has an automatic noise canceling feature for the input from the microphone. So this is my mic, and whatever sound comes in this, if it's a noise that continuously happens, the software can sense it and just cut it out. That's one type of noise canceling. That's from microphone noise canceling on the input side. And when it's done right, it sounds really good. The other kind of noise canceling is what you hear. Now, this is the one that sucks up the batteries. So essentially what happens is you have music playing on your headphones or someone talking to you on a phone, whatever it is, it's coming in, right? And you got little microphones on the headphones that are listening to the sound around you. And if a sound stays nice and steady, sound of a fan, engine running, hum of a refrigerator, a floor, air conditioner, whatever, what it does is it recreates that sound and basically kind of records it and flips it out of phase and plays it into your ears. It's a complicated little process, but anymore it's pretty simple. Even some really small earbuds can do it. But it actively plays the reverse of the sound in the room, the ambient sound. It actively plays the reverse of that into your ears and makes that sound basically go away. Now, that type of ANC consumes a lot of batteries, but it's very cool. It makes, when you put them on, it makes the whole room just sound quiet. It's very neat. Let's look through here and see what, and a lot of times on a headset where you have both hearing and a microphone, you'll have both types of noise canceling. The most common type for something that can be used as a microphone or to make phone calls and stuff, the most common type is the one that cancels noise coming in on your mic. So background noise coming in when you're talking gets cut out and it only picks up your voice. That's the most common. That one doesn't consume batteries. The one that actually actively cancels noise in your area and makes it sound like it's quiet, that one sucks up the juice. And I don't know for sure which one the device has. But let's go through here and look for some questions. Jimmy said, when are the V1 Oblivions going on clearance? Got no clearance, Clarence. uh, they'll probably, I can't say 100%, but if I'm guessing, they're going to probably happen, they'll probably go on clearance when the V2s go up on the site, same time. And if my information is correct, the, what is this, Tuesday? Around the end of this week, this is an approximation, the SmackDown should go up first. At that point, the Oblivions might go on clearance. The SmackDowns might go on clearance at the same time. But the new SmackDowns will go up. And then a week after that, approximately, the new Oblivions will go up. And either one of those two times, we're likely to get our clearance. So you're going to have to just keep checking back. Let's see here. The best college football team in the nation. Corn Nut. College. Arkansas Razorbacks. I really have no idea. Not a sports guy. But back in the 90s, man, you guys want to ever see some real basketball games? Go back to like the 1991, 1992 Hog games, Arkansas Razorbacks. Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, Big O, Oliver Miller, all those guys. Holy cow, man. What a freaking game they had. They were just a monster team. That's the only last time I got into watching was in the 91 and 92 season for the Razorbacks, man. They were just something else, man. I mean, straight up, dude. That team could have took on a pro team, no problem. They were monsters. Let's see here. Oregon for the win. Ah, there he is. What's up, Andy? Nice to see you, bud. I'm just going to hang out a little bit, see what happens. I'm just having some leftover KFC. I found out you know, like 3 minutes before the show ended. I was like, well, I've already got food heated up. I'm gonna tell you, man. KFC's chicken is not ideal, but the coleslaw, man, they've still got the best coleslaw on the planet. I'm sorry, man. Anybody else can touch KFC's coleslaw. Mm. And their mashed potatoes and gravy. They got that shit nailed down. Oh, goodness gracious alive. Hey, what's up? Let's see what's going on here. Whoa. Let's make it a little bit brighter in here. Get the old sun out. Sunshine. Good times. Now things are starting to feel more. Things are starting to feel a little bit more stable. All right. Let's see here. Jason said the TW2 has environmental noise cancellation. Yeah, that's exactly what that would do. Yeah, blocks ambient noise. Yeah. Environmental, well, I don't know. It could be either one, actually. So it's hard to say. It's really common to see, like, for example, this little headset right here has noise canceling on a mic. Okay. This headset right here has noise canceling on the mic. I've got like 5 different trucker headsets in here, the bigger ones that look similar to these things that have noise canceling on the mic. 1 or 2 of them have noise canceling on the hearing. So it's more common to get the mic. And almost everything that Bluetooth to your phone now has a mic that's noise canceling. Some of them are better than others. And believe me, they're not all created equal, man. You guys could hear what my audio sounds like. My words are not getting cut off. It's not going on and all that kind of garbage. It sounds nice and clean. And that's because the software does a good job. This software does a really good job. But if you're hearing, especially on Bluetooth, because Bluetooth has a tiny delay, and it's not much, but it's just enough. You can get some weird, funky sounds from that. So let's see here. Corn Nut straightening him out. What's up, Joey? Joey said, man, what's up? Got my Audison amp ready to go. Got 215s for my 215s. How's it going? Super, dude. I've actually been messing around today with music and stuff. You guys know, if you're subscribed to my channel, you know I'm always messing with songs and creating songs and stuff. Well, I uploaded while I was mixing. Let me go back a couple steps there. While I was mixing and mastering the 2 songs I was working on today, I discovered a weakness in my subwoofer over there, and the one that Bones is sitting on. It's a good 15, plays low. The sub box though is tuned to like 37 hertz, which is great for normal music. But I create a lot of stuff with 25 hertz, 22 hertz. So whenever I'm mixing, it's the thing about a studio setup. You know how you hear about people, I got studio speakers and studio monitors and stuff. And if you watch a studio in action when they're working on stuff, you can see that they're using very specific speakers. They want to be able to hear what they're working on. Well, most of those people are not reproducing frequencies below like 30 hertz. They have nothing in their stereo in their system. But for me, creating the stuff that I create, and I guess for any rebaser out there, I need equipment that plays down into the high teens at least, because I have to be able to hear what that those pitches and those tones, the levels are at. And this thing doesn't do that. So what I have to do is I have to watch the speaker, right? I have to look at it. So it's moving about the same amount. I have to guess because it doesn't reproduce down there. I'm going to have to probably, I'm probably going to turn that into a sealed enclosure. I'm probably going to plug that port and then just turn the power up to it a little bit and then DSP it a little bit so that I can get it kind of flat and so I can hear the lows. I got to be able to hear, man. You can't hear what you're mixing. Shit just ain't working right. Joe Berserker, man, what's up? Let's see here. So I said that because I've got two 12s down there, just two really cheap Hyanka 12s down there below the table here, in a Hyanka box. It's completely worthless for most people in car audio, but a couple hundred watts will put this thing just dropping. And but I think it's ported. I'm gonna have to figure out what the pitch is. It may be maybe better. I don't know. Maybe worse. We'll figure it out. Jason said, yeah, they have noise canceling and drops the battery life from 8 to 5. That would definitely be the incoming noise canceling because that's a battery hog. That model blocks sound while listening to music, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, if it dips the battery life, it's definitely the active noise canceling for your ears, not your mic. Audison amp on 215s. I've never seen that. Wow, we do stuff. We do crazy stuff. Coordinate said KFC has nothing on Hattie B's. Man, I've never had Hattie B's. KFC used to be so good, guys. The chicken was better. That it had more. It was juicy. I mean, there's a reason why they call it finger licking good. Because if you pulled a piece of chicken off there, your hands were covered with chicken juice, with fat and like flavor, and you would lick the fingers. Now it's like it doesn't have any of that. It's like what is this? It's dry and emotionless, and it's just wrong. There's no flavor there. The texture's all gone. It's just so meh. And I don't know. I think KFC just took a crap at some point, and they just stopped learning. They forgot. They just totally forgot how to make good fried chicken. They can still make chicken, and it's fried chicken, and it's acceptable, but it's not good. And then other places like, what's the one that has the little sandwiches and stuff? It's good, but it's still not as good as what KFC used to be. Now, granted, my old man taste buds are jacked up. I can't smell anything, which messes up my taste and stuff. All that is the truth. But the food is just really not as good as it used to be. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to check into Hattie B's. I think there ain't one here that I know of. Joey said I got a DX American bass, only 500 watts RMS. My amp is going 1200 watts RMS. That's going to be active. Jason said, are you mixing and matching parts you already had? That's what you do, right? We got to do stuff. And then, hey, man, I don't have a problem with mixing brands up. I mean, you know what? I don't have to tell you. I can just show you. Look at my board back here. There's 3 different brands on that amp board back there, and they all work very well together. So, I'm impressed with that little Hyanka amp, by the way. If you guys are looking for a cheap amp, they're not bad. I don't think that they make anywhere close to the power they're rated for, but it sounds fine. James says, how are you, sir? Do miss seeing you, sir? A great driver. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Hope I've ever made you laugh. Well, I'm glad you're here, man. Nice to see you. Joey, Bobby, corn nut, Bobby, corn nut, Bobby. You guys are so awesome. I don't even know what Bobby said then. That just he lost his words. His words broke. Um, but I absolutely love you guys. Um, Bobby had a question for you. Car audio enthusiast, when are you going to interview CAE? Yeah, I've actually done interviews for a trucking YouTube channel. A guy called me up, and we set up a deal, did an interview for him. Um, that was pretty fun. I was like his second or third person on his channel. It's pretty good. Um, thank you, sir. Am I doing well? Well, I'm alive. Oh yeah, James, I got you, man. I figured that out after I thought about it a second. I'm horrible with names, so you know, I'm really good with faces. I never forget faces, but I'm so bad with names. Car audio enthusiast or car audio obsessed. I I'm alive, man. You know, today was rough. I went with my wife today, and we went with my wife. She had to go to the doctor. So she had, okay, she had, I guess it's called scoliosis. I'm not sure. I may be wrong about that. Uh, as a kid, she had her back was all like shaped like a question mark kind of a thing. And they put rods, Harrington rods in her back. And she's, all life she's been pain, all life because of that. But in the last, 10 years, the bottom of her back below the Harrington rods has got a strong curve to it. And it's curving more and more, and it's pinching nerves and causing numbness and pain and all sorts of shit. Um, and she's fighting that. Well, we went to the doctor. She went to the doctor, and I went with her, which is more of a hassle than anything because for me to go anywhere, it's like she has to wait on me to waddle around because I can't hardly, I can't get around that good. So I'm really slow, and she moves right along. Even when she thinks she's going slow, she's, and I'm just back there somewhere, I think I'll catch up in a minute, man. But we went, and it was a waste of time because they just told her it was going to have to go somewhere else and all this other garbage. So uh, we're working on finding somebody, trying to find somebody down in the Memphis, Tennessee area because I got relatives down there. Anyway, that's a long story, but I got out today and did that, and then we stopped and got the KFC, and today was rough for me. I mean, it was good emotionally because we hung out and had fun and laughed, and that's always a positive thing. But it was physically very demanding, and so it is what it is. Uh, I know that's a hell of a long answer. uh, we figured out that cornholio, corn says cornholio. Uh, Car obsessed. Does he want to be? Is the question. Sure, I love interviews. You set it up, and we'll do it, man. No big deal. We will knock it out of the park. Just let me know if you have any perimeters that like how don't talk about whatever, or don't use bad language, or don't fire up a cigarette. Give me my heads up on what I'm allowed to do. But yeah, I'll jump on there with you. Jason Lawrence. I had a guy come in to my job. He had a medical boot on his foot. I told him the same thing happened to my car. I'm guessing he got to pay. He got it for jaywalking. There, man. You had to have stole that joke from somewhere. That was good. Joey should work out well. So almost correct. Should be a good match. Man, this mouse. Oh man, really? Bobby. Bobby, you know how many messages you had in the Kicker show earlier? You had like 40 something messages. And you talking about I like to talk. I don't even know, dude. It was great. Talking smack about me. I'll get you, buddy. Um, Younger brother Robert, who's like a foot taller. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yep. I'm piecing it together now, man. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. It was a good day. Good and bad. It's a mixed bag. Uh, I told the car shop I wanted an A+ job. So I mean, yeah. Uh, Raw Cat. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. He's pretty good. He is pretty good. Let's see here. Made it up myself. That's a good one, man. It's a good joke. I like it. Oh man, I don't have anything set aside to discuss today. So you guys have got to feed me questions, and we'll hang out for a while. If you wanted to, you know, Kicker had like 60 something people in the room, and a lot of people talking. So um, they have a limited amount of interaction that they can do with the comments. It's a little bit more kind of like Andy. Andy shows he's got a little more, but I'm wide open, guys. I'm going to answer and read every single comment. So we typically only run 20 to 30 people in the room at one time, which means it's a little bit slower pace. Um, I will talk about. Oh yeah. Yeah, is there anything? Yeah, I will talk about my build because that's what's been on my brain. I mean, I got that. It's all firmly in my head, and I have been drawing. I have been drawing pictures, and I know I probably ain't got none of them right handy, but I have been drawing and thinking and studying on how I'm going to lay this out because I'm not going to do everything exactly like the typical sixth order. I don't think I have. Yeah, this is pictures, but they're not going to be helpful. Let me show you guys. I got some scratch draws that I did. They're behind here though. Let me dig them up here. Yeah, there they are right there. So let's pull up one that'll show you guys what I got in my brain. Yeah, that one. So, is that going to let me do two? Let me check. No, that's going to do that. Yeah, that lets me do two. Okay, so let me get this back up here, and hopefully we don't lose the mic because you know how that goes. It doesn't always work, and I'm probably going to. Yeah, I probably gonna lose my mic. I'll get it squared away. Uh, Screen share window. All right, so you guys should be able to hear me now. I'm gonna turn the sound off on. Wait, no, I gotta put that back on there. You guys should be able to hear me. Okay, so this is a really crappy drawing of the side view, but the important part is these little ledges here. You see those? So what I got in my brain is building a baffle. Normally, you'd have like 3 or 4 inches or 3 or 4 sheets of plywood. Well, even cheap plywood's like 30, $40 a sheet. That's expensive. And then you still end up having to put vertical bracing in it because the thing flexes. I mean, there's hundreds or thousands of pounds of pressure involved in this, and it's pressure that goes back and forth. It's like the worst kind of pressure. It's coming from both directions, just and vibrating it back and forth, wonka 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 wonka, right? So I got to thinking about that. Now doing this, having this angle right here, tilts this driver a little bit towards. This is where the seat would be right here. Tilts it a little bit that direction. And it allows me to have a vertical piece of plywood, maybe like 1 to 3 inches tall right here. And that vertical piece is the plywood on the edge turned vertical is extremely strong. So having that will essentially create the same effect as having a wall right here. So it eliminates a lot of that flex and doing the same thing here. And then back here, I don't know exactly how that's going to go. But that would allow me to have that brace. And then on this point right here, well, I don't know which one of these mice, that one, on that point right there, I would have my RGB strips would run horizontally. So you'd see the end of the strip right there, and it'll run all the way across on this one, this one, this one, and this one over here. And that would allow the RGB to shine on everything in the enclosure and light it up good, but you wouldn't be able to see any of the sources of the RGB. So that would create strength here, and also create a good spot to run wires and RGB right there. Now I'll show you the other, once I figure out which one of these mice is doing the thing. Okay, this is messing with my head. Let me move this real quick. Here we go. Is that it? No, that's not it. Let's see. We're just going to keep jabbing at it until we figure it out. You guys are probably seeing something really weird right now. Why do you want to do that? Why are you? Oh, it's over here. Okay, so here's the top-down version. Now on the top-down version, you guys completely disappeared over there. Okay, we're good. So this is the same ledge right here, right? And this is where the RGB strips will be running right here. Now this is not built to proportion. This is a sketch again. But what I'm going to do is underneath in the center, between each sub, have a vertical brace that goes down to the floor of the enclosure. So it's probably going to be like a 2x4, which is actually less expensive than a dowel, and it literally doesn't matter. 2x4's got more surface area, so it'll probably be a 2x right here, going down in all three of these positions, which will make the center of the enclosure stable. So then you got a stability here, stability here, stability here, and stability here, which means 1 or 2 layers is going to be enough. I'm probably going to do 2 layers here. I think I won't have any issues with that. It also means that I can use not full sheets. I can use leftovers, scraps, cutoffs to build this stuff with. And then but my first layer will be plywood. My second layer might be something else. But I'm going to have plywood on the top layer, and then whatever's on the inside may be something else. This is the port area. Again, I don't know exactly how that's going to be laid out, but I wanted to show you guys what I have going on with that idea. Let me see if anybody's got any questions about this while I've got it up. We're talking about Soundman. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. And Bruce is good. EXO is great. Great fun to interview if you get a chance to. I should have done an interview. See, I sit and talked to him for a long time. And the YouTuber in me was like, man, you should be interviewing him right now. But at the same time, we were just having a great time just talking. And that's what happens with me a lot of times when I get around a certain situation. I'm so enjoying the situation that I don't want to ruin it by whipping out a camera. So that's kind of how that goes. And any of my YouTubers out there can relate to that thing. You're going to want to put a breathing hole on that right side bottom that channel so it can suck in air as well from the front and left. I'm very confused as to what that is. Maybe I'm missing something. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see here. Marcus was saying red cars are faster than black cars. half or full bridge isn't the deciding factor. It really comes down to the brand. It comes down to the design and their quality. Yeah. Uh, could use all thread for those braces. Could. I don't think it's really going to be necessary. Now I could do all thread from roof to floor and then put like nuts on them and lock in the center so that it braces both. Because that's the thing a lot of people don't realize. And give me a second. I think a lot of people think that a box only has to be reinforced from expanding, right? Like all the pressure is on the inside, pushing out. But the reality of it is, there's an equal amount of pressure pushing out and pulling in, and it goes back and forth, and it's substantial. It's like my buddy was doing the math on his doors on his S10, and because he was watching the doors flex, he was playing like 20 something hertz and had a video of the doors just flexing and was asking what they think about fixing it. Anyway, he come up with the math on that door, and that door is sitting like 500 pounds of pressure, and it's 500 pounds pushing out, then it's 500 pounds pushing in, and 500 pounds out, 500 pounds in. Man, that's a lot of mechanical, slamming happening right there. Um, so yeah, the reason I just wanted to point out that the all thread thing is good. It's also, I would need to run like probably like 3/4 inch or 1 inch to get to stop it from flexing, and that stuff gets expensive, and it's also heavy. And I'm working on a different design to solve the problem on the roof, or on the top part of the baffle, because I want to be able to get in and out without a whole lot of restrictions. So I've got another thing that I'm working on for doing that part. The braces on the bottom will be inside the bottom chamber, so I'm not worried about those. But the top is going to have something different. Probably going to want to put holes. Oh, oh no, those aren't separate. They're not. Yeah, you saw the original, the bottom. This is there. It's all open down here. But yeah, I get you, man. But yeah, there's no. It's all open in the bottom part. The box is a sixth. Box is going to be a sixth order. Fine line hanging out. Oh yeah, yeah. No, dude, I totally get it. Hanging out, just enjoying the music. Yes, sir. That was a reply to my question for the feed. My question is up there. I got you, bro. Hopefully, I didn't miss it. This is a big one, man. All right. Yeah, you. That's a long one. Yeah, the issue is you got to be able to move the air without resistance. That's where those holes come in between baffles. You can't exactly drill a hole in the side of in a hole. You can't exactly drill a hole in the side of a door without looking stupid. But if you had a big hole in the side of the door that air can pass freely, it's fluid and it's called pressure. Essentially, you want to have channels for that air to move through, just like fluid moving through a creep better. Something you get. Damn, that's what my brain's doing right now. You've got a lot to relief for it move through so it doesn't tear up the dam essentially. Words. I'm sure that sounded perfectly normal when you typed it in, brother. Um, I'd have to reread that a few times to try to figure out exactly what you're saying. But the baffle, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but I think you can. but the baffle is separate. They're not going to the bottom. So these chambers are all connected together. And then this up here would be a port. So this is porting into the top chamber, which fires out to the seats over here. I know I don't know if I explained that right. Um, let's see. And you're louder, I think, than Dustin's truck is. So you probably see 600 pounds or more. No, no, Dustin's louder than me, man. Um, he's significantly louder than me. He doesn't push. He holds back a lot more. I mean, I go full tilt boogie on when I'm doing demos. I give it everything. You mean I just let it rip. Now Dustin has been he was really being conservative, especially his first day out, the first show out. Um, so yeah, he holds back. He's significantly louder. He was doing he had a 156, I believe, out there, and I ain't even got close to a 56. So he's louder, and for a lot of reasons. But a lot of reasons. He's got a very efficient setup, and he's got a lot of power. I'm running about clamping probably half the power he is, and he's got a lot of throw in those subs and a small cab and a lot of other things. All this stuff. He's got the reinforced floors. He's got a lot of stuff going on that helps pull his pressure up. But uh, yeah, it's a great build. I really enjoy his build. I am going to give him some competition though. Whenever I run my six, though, it's definitely going to. I'll probably be louder than him at that point. It's kind of inevitable because I'm going to be. I figure I'm going to be knocking on a 160, if not a little past it. So, and science, I understand, and I think I understand what you're talking about, but I'll have to go back and reread that a few times to figure it out. But I appreciate science, man. I dig science. As long as you're not throwing too much math at me, I'm good. Tyler said, really, damn. He asked her on the demo for sure. It's like I said, that's because I have my leg in it. I have my foot all the way to the floor, and I'd have to squish it around a little bit. Um, but trust me, he's capable of a whole lot more. He's got his amp set at like 107 volts right now, and he can run like 140 volts before he clips. He's actually holding back a whole lot. He's idling. I'm running full tilt boogie, but I'm running full tilt boogie at 2 ohms per amp. So let's see here. See the peak to peak. The peak displacement volume is calculated with the following. Yeah, see, there you go. You're doing numbers. I don't like those. I don't like numbers. See, you just have to put that. You're just gonna have to keep that to yourself. You got to keep that shit to yourself, brother, because I don't need that headache. Stu said, "Oh, I landed a big build. I landed a big build for me, and I'm going to need some lithium. Are those 10K staying available? We are hoping that they're back in stock pretty soon, but I don't know. And I try not to. Let me see here. Hang on a second. Let me pull up. Let me get this up. And I'll while we're on the live, I'll hit Brandon up. Any news on the 10Ks? Maybe he'll answer. Uh, maybe he'll answer. You know, sometime while we're on the show. So yeah, I'll throw him a little message out there. Let's see. Oh, what we're doing? Oh, I see what you got going on down there. Yeah, screw your math, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Car Audio Obsessed said, let's start a pool. Guess your score. It's going to be a while before we find out because I'm hoping I'll have it. Oh, goodness. I'm hoping I'll have it done by the first show of next year. So that'll be like March ish. I don't know exactly, but yeah, that's what I'm hoping I'll have it up and planned. Uh, Price is right rules. Oh, that sounds fun. When we go to getting closer to the launch of the new sixth, maybe we'll set something up. Maybe we'll get some wagers going. It's going to be loud though. I'll assure you of that. Tyler said a 153.4. I'm running a 153.3 right now. I could probably get a 53.4. Actually, I could probably get like a 54 out of it. With if I twist everything just right, and if I'm playing tone, I know I can get a 54 out of it. That 53.3 is on music, on the windshield. So if I threw it down on the floor and ran 44, 45 hertz, 43 hertz, I could probably get a 154 or more. Um, so yeah. Stews says 6 Warhorse amps to build. Oh my goodness. 2 of the 10Ks would be plenty. 6 Warhorses. What are they? I'm reaching for my brain here. The 3,000. What are they? What are they rated again? Power wise, are they like 3,000 watts or 4,000 watts? Anyway, I'll just tell you this: one of the 10Ks with at least an upgraded alternator, like a high output alternator, can easily handle 20,000 watts. But if I was going to be running 6, if I was going to be running anything close to that, I would run 2 just to 3,600. Okay, that's right. All right, thank you. So you're looking at 360 amps times 6. So that's 2,000 and something. Yeah, I would run 2. Just quick math. I would run 2. I wouldn't put. I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't build a system that big and then have it riding on just barely enough power. So yes, I would run 2 of them. You won't have any issues whatsoever with 2 of them. Marcia Stanley said, has anyone seen the new Down for Sound 2700 watt sub? No, I have not. Oh, you were guessing the current bill? Well, yeah, you were pretty close, Tyler. Pretty damn close. That's real close. That's 0.1 higher than what I've seen on the meter at an event. 3,600 watts rated. James said, I tried one time to run 415 through a 50-watt amp. And when I turned my stereo on going down the road, the road to my truck, the amp starts smoking, cut on fire. I had to rip that sumbitch out and throw it on the street because, yeah, it was pulling too much for them speakers. Yep, I'm not sure what's going on there, bro. But a 50 watt amp on, I guess that's 415s. I don't know. Um, yeah, something's going on there, man. I don't even know what's going on. I'm leaving that one alone. We'll have to discuss that in person. A Warhorse can do 5K when pushed, so 30K potentially. Yeah. You have no problem with 2 10Ks, man. They'll handle it. No problem. Especially if you got a high output alternator. And also that 5K is not really going to happen. I mean, after your rise and all that stuff is in place, you'll probably be getting at best maybe 3,000 watts out of each amp on a constant, like real clamp power basis, which is what you're looking at, is what your average power pull is. Um, so, which would be 300 amps times 6, 1800 amps, 900 amps each. Yeah, two of them will be fine. Let's see here. And I doubt the person would push 6 of those amps full tilt. Exactly, yeah. That's what I'm saying. But still, that would be capable of handling it full tilt. The thing is, you can't get full tilt on 1 ohm. You just can't. You can't do anything on 1 ohm. You can hook it up at 1 ohm, but it's not actually going to make that power at any point ever, unless it's on a static load, not a subwoofer. It's always going to be a higher than a 1 ohm load. Probably closer to 3 ohms. So 12K, this guy would definitely try. Hell yeah, my friend. You're going to vinyl wrap your truck? If so, have you picked a design? If you're talking to me, I would love to vinyl wrap my Tahoe. I would love to vinyl wrap my Tahoe. But you know, I mean, you're looking at minimum $1,000. More like, $2,000. And I just think I can't afford to do that. So unless I find somebody that's going to sponsor it, or that the sponsor that wants to, have a big, blast of something, that might happen. But I just don't have the funds to do that myself. So I don't know if you're talking about me, but that's my answer to that question. Safety first. Imagine a 10K system, fire lithium. Yeah. Hey man, I don't have any problems with my lithium batteries. Let's see here. I don't think so, Jason. I think 2 will be fine. I know you're just being silly, but it's all good. Yeah, I don't think you'll have any issues. If you're going to run stock, if you're going to run a stock alternator, then yeah, you would need 3. But if you got a high output alternator, at least 1, 2 will do it. Let's see here. So now I got to figure out how the hell to get all the subs in the truck. What kind of truck is it? I didn't catch that. I know you probably told me, but I don't remember. 15s, I think you said. That's going to be like a mini wall. I mean, if you're putting those in like an extended cab, you could do something like a mini wall. I had 412s in an extended cab, and it came up to the window. The box came up to the window in the back. It was in a Ford F-150, and I had the seat removed, and I had a piece of plywood down where the seat used to be, and I built a little plywood floor down there that came all the way up to right at the back of the front seats. And then I set the box in there, and it came up right to the window line. But if you're doing 15s, you can carry it on up to the roof. I think the one thing that you're going to find you need to really focus on is how you're going to attach the speakers to the box. So I kept breaking screws. I broke all kinds of screws, like constantly broke screws. So, and I think it was because the weight of the magnet on the baffle. So you may be focusing on trying to build something in there the magnets can rest on to keep the weight off that frame. Just throwing that out there. That's something you need to be cooking while you're designing, because that's the thing. You got lots of stresses that are happening there. And I know you know all this, but I'm just pointing it out. Oh, goodness gracious. What am I missing here? Let's see here. 3,600. Okay. So, Stu, what do you run? Late to the party. Wired 20.25. Build. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. We'll jump in here. Nice you can show. Get the Stu, what are you going to run too late to the party? Wire to point 25. Yeah, yeah, that sort of works, but it usually don't. Um, 12L7X. Oh, okay. 12s, and an extended cab, I guess. Um, ooh, that's going to be rough. Um, I mean, there's enough baffle room. There's enough baffle room, but you you're probably going to want to like fiberglass the back and sides of that just to maximize the amount of airspace you can get out of that room, because that's going to take a lot of airspace in that enclosure. Plus, you got to put up, if you're putting a port in there, you've got to port that somewhere. That port has to go in there somewhere. You might tell you what you might do though, because the way the floor is shaped in most trucks in the back, the floor has this slope that goes, and I can't, slope that goes down like this. When you build in your level space to set the enclosure on, maybe have the enclosure vent out the bottom and go through that and then come out below the box. Um, that way you could probably put most of the port on the outside of the enclosure, and that would give you that extra airspace inside, and also would have somewhere for the port to be. So like a kind of like a hood scoop on a car, but on the bottom, coming out underneath the box between the brackets that hold the seat normally and that are going to be holding your floor. Just let the port come out the bottom there and then come forward toward the console, you know, something like that. Just throwing an idea out there. Kick said I just built my girl's Escalade 615 L7Xs. Ooh, nasty. I bet that's nasty. Got a warranty of the equipment. Oh, okay. Let's see. Sweet kicker for the win. Marcus Stanley. Do you see lithium sodium? Lithium sodium? I'm not aware of a lithium sodium setup. I mean, you can do lithium sodium blends, hybrid builds, but not lithium sodium batteries. But we'll assume that you're just talking about sodium batteries. Um, Lithium and sodium are literally the same part of the battery. So lithium is the same, sodium replaces lithium in the other battery. They're the same. They do the same job. Um, but sodium batteries is a way for a car future. Maybe the only downside to sodium is, well, there's a couple. It has a slope, a voltage slope, kind of like AGM. So as you lose power, the voltage goes down. That's not ideal for car audio. Two, they tend to be larger than lithium, and three, they tend to be heavier. They're not heavy as an AGM battery, but they're significantly heavier than lithium. Right now, they're also significantly more expensive for the same amount of storage, at least depending on where you get it. But it's the price will come down. We all know that. I don't know whether they're going to be able to improve the chemistry enough to make it better than lithium. Lithium is also improving greatly. It's becoming a lot more stable, and it's a lot safer. It's a lot more reliable. Lithium tends to have a really high C rating. Sodium C rating is still high, but it's not as high as lithium. And a C rating is how much power you can pull out and push in at one time on a battery. Right now, nothing is higher than lithium besides an ultra cat or a super cat. As far as the C rating goes, super cat basically has no C rating. It's just however much you throw in it, that's how much goes in. But they don't have any real storage either. Lithium is a pretty incredible battery. That's why, even though it's hard to get the materials and stuff and all the problems with them, there's nothing on the market that even is close to replacing lithium right now. Sodium may become something that's worthwhile, but it's going to have to wait and see. It's an interesting technology. Uh, Maybe just big decals instead of a full wrap. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And even then, we're in the hundreds of dollars range. So we're working on it. I got a couple things a couple of strings I'm trying to pull right now. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, yeah, yeah. I hope we'll see. Silverado extended cab, 8 inch. Okay, so it's an '04 Silverado extended cab, 8 inch, 8 foot bed, and oh, eight in the bed, four in the cab. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, so you're gonna do a blow through, and wow, this customer you have is quite insane. I agree. But I dig it. I mean, I'm not tripping. I dig it. That's a hell of a build, though. I mean, if I was going to do something like that, if I'm going to cut a hole in the cab in the bed and do a blow through, I'd just run all of them in the bed. I mean, I don't even know why you'd put them in the cab. Um, yeah, I'd just run the whole setup in the bed, man. Because you're gonna have all kinds of weird, funky phasing issues. If you've got them back there in the bed, and then you've got some up in the cab, you're gonna have some massive group delay, and you may have some serious phase problems. You may end up it may end up really having problems. You may have to really DSP the shit out of it to get it to work. I would just put them all in the bed and do a full blow through if you're going to go that route. But that's just an old country boy. So um, yeah, no doubt, dude. Jason said no, sodium's still new and expensive. Second gen sodium is coming out soon. Might also be cheaper. Yeah, definitely. You don't want to jump on a sodium train yet. Give it a year or two and see where it's at. Because right now you're going to be playing a premium and you're not going to get the performance you're going to get out of lithium. So just give it some time, let it mature, and may have something worthwhile. I mean, ultimately, it is generally more stable. It's also far easier to source the materials to make it. Um, so there's a lot of positives. Just nobody is ramped up to be able to produce it in mass yet, which means it's not going to be inexpensive. It's going to be costly. And then I got to work the details out of the getting the chemistry optimized and getting everything optimized so that we get the most out of it we can. But it will come in time. Stu's Custom Shop. Hmm. It will be impressive. It'll be impressive. You're right, for sure, brother. I'm just concerned about phasing because that can be a real catastrophic failure. That's a big deal when it comes to. It's like the way you you need to watch or study up on stage sound, how stages work, and how movie theaters work, how the sound in those types of environments where you've got a large space with drivers at multiple distances from the person, it causes weird things to happen. And some of them are good, most of them are not. And there's solutions for them, but it has to be actively done. So, I mean, I can tell you right now, if you've got a sub playing, 8 feet away and another one playing a foot and a half away, it's going to be nasty. I mean, I say nasty. I don't mean nasty in a good way. There's going to be some nasty shit happening with that bass. And it's going to, you're either going to have to delay the crap out of them front subs, which means delaying the whole front stage. It's going to be some DSP action going on to make that work. Let's see. I got a 12-inch power acoustic. Want to sell it for a lot of because. There you go, brother. Let's see here. Right? I'm serious, he says. Yeah, that's a It's a hell of a lot of cone area. The L7X is a beefy sub for sure. Yep. It's two. Yes, I got my JVC stereo, but I don't know if I like it. Uh, I've had good luck with JVC as far as head units go. JVC, Kenwood, they're the same. I mean, I like the software for. I've always liked Kenwood JVC's software, um, and you don't really realize how good it is until you get a different stereo, and then you go, "Ooh, this is cool." Oh yeah. Oh, wait a minute, it doesn't do that. Oh wait, it doesn't do this. Oh my Kenwood did that. And then you start realizing all these little things that are just not perfect about the stereo that you have, whoever that brand is. And you're thinking back, going, my Kenwood that I had that was half the price and was 5 years old did this better. Why doesn't And you start seeing that stuff, and that's why if I had to pick a head unit especially for someone in a blind situation, hey, pick me out a good head unit. It's going to either start with Kenwood or JVC. I'd probably choose the Kenwood Exelon. Anything from the Kenwood Exelon line is going to be a solid performing car stereo, 100%. I'll tell you another thing. If you go and look at anybody's, like a manufacturer that has stuff on display, right? Like they've got like Kicker, for example, or maybe Rockford Fosgate, or somebody that builds up a system, right? Big system, but they don't make head units. They almost always use a Kenwood head unit. And they have all the money that they want. So they just pick that because they know it's going to sound the best. And that's the thing. So I like Kenwood head units. The Kenwood Exelon, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah, I'm not messing around with that headway stuff. Um, yeah, sodium's. Brandon messed with some sodium. He got some in and he tested it. And when I say tested it, Brandon is like he tests things. He's very destructive. I mean, like at first he starts off soft and just does some basic test, and then he builds his way up. Eventually, it involves chainsaws, sledgehammers, all sorts of crazy shit. He tests things to failure and then far beyond failure before he ever even considers building something and selling it to the public. He has tortured the stuff. I mean, literally tortured it. And he's done every crazy thing that you can imagine is going to ever possibly happen to this stuff. Well, he didn't make it to that point with the sodium. The sodium did not perform good enough to suit him. So he said, screw that, and stopped messing with it. So it's not there yet. I tried. He wanted the subs in the cab. Good luck, brother. Like I said, DSP is going to be your friend. And don't try to do it with a tape measure because it ain't going to work. It's going to have to be a strictly by ear situation. You're going to have to group up the ones in the rear as a you'll basically be wherever the port is. If you're coming in from the bed, and you're going to have a port regardless of whether you intend to. The passageway going from the bed to the cab is going to be a sound source. So you'll start there, from there to your mic, and then from the speakers that are in the cab, from there to your mic. Those are your two measurements. You won't be measuring the distance up inside the back enclosure. Only measure from the common wall they're all going through. That's going to be where your delay is going to happen. That's where everything's going to be set on those 2 points, and you should be good. It's not going to be perfect. I mean, but that even happens whenever you have speakers that are going back like that, like I'm going to have in my 6, where I got 2 behind me, then 2 behind them, and then 2 more behind them. There's a delay happening there, which is going to make the whole thing soft. Okay. But it's going to get consolidated at the port in the back. Okay. That port is going to be one source of alignment. And then the port in the front of the box is going to be another source of alignment. So what I would technically do is an all pass filter, or no, that's not exactly right. I had to figure that out. But basically, you would have what you would want is anything over a certain frequency to get delayed to where it lined up with the port in the back, so that 70 inches or whatever it's going to be, we need that measurement, but it would only be for frequency ranges. So anything below a certain frequency would be coming at you normally, and anything above that frequency would come at you later. It would be delayed. So the frequencies would hit at the same time. Fortunately, you don't get those multiple frequencies hitting you at the same time, so it's not a big of a deal. But if you're trying, and whatever you're trying to do, your primary, so what I'll do is I'll have my time alignment set up on my port in the back, because 90% of the stuff that I'm going to be reproducing is going to be at that tuning, not the front tuning. And we'll just have to roll with that. But that's the group. The grouping is going to happen at the port in a bandpass style box. When you put something in the bed of a truck and import it in the cab, it is a bandpass box, no matter whether you intend it for it to be or not. And therefore, that port becomes that particular distance. So then, whatever you have inside the cab is going to be closer. And you might consider, what might be a possibility is having the subs in the cab. Don't tell him this, but have the subs in the cab play like a 50 to 80 hertz, and then the ones in the bed playing from the bottom of the world up to like 50 hertz. That way, they're both not trying to play the same pitch, and then you won't have as much of that sloppiness. And then the cab subs can act a little bit more like a mid bass and give you better close range drums, and that sub facing directly at you gives you that nice presence. So that worked good for those, bass notes and stuff, and the other things in the drums and all that are really, really rock out. That might be the thing to do, is to split them in two groups and then have different crossover points for them, so that they're not trying to do the same thing at the same time. It's just an idea, man. I mean, my ideas are just that, they're ideas. Um, uh, yeah, that's a good question. And Stu says, "Yep, going to port those." Let's see here. Marcus says, "Man, man, every time you light one, I light one too." Hey, baby, I got a half. What did I do? Dude, look, I'm sorry, man. I, I've been smoking since I was 11 years old. My body don't even understand anything that doesn't involve smoking. I smoked all the way through basic training, guys. I was literally smoking all the way through. I on my PT, when we did PT runs, we'd go around and I would smoke on the run because I could get away with it. When I was smoking while I was running. They called me Smokey Bear. It was hilarious. No, we weren't allowed to, by no means, but everybody knew I smoked. And so yeah, I was smoking while I was running freaking PT, dude. It is what it is. Yeah. Let's see here. Got to build around the bed port to build those boxes, and then figure out where to mount the amps and batteries. Yeah, you ain't even got into that. You're probably going to be doing that shit. Um, Most people are going to tell you to put them in the bed. I break out in hives when I think about putting electronics outside of the cab. It just bothers me, but that's probably going to be your spot. But so beyond that, you're looking at, the floorboard below the enclosure, which is hot and hard to get to. And if this guy's a psychopath, like I probably is, you might consider doing that just so he can't get to them. Like mount a rack under there and then slide it in and have all the amps on it, where you could slide the whole thing out. Like in the floorboard, the only other spot you got is like in the console or in a console or in the glove box or behind the glove box, um, or on the roof. You know, all of those are crazy things. Sounds like it's gonna be a cool build though. Very challenging, which is a good thing. We all like a good challenge. Oh, I'm so bad. What has he got here? Let me see. I didn't catch that. Does anyone know 6-order box for 618s? Sir, does anyone know who would build me a 6-order box for 618s? There's a lot of people that'll do it, but it's not going to be cheap. I mean, uh, Charles at Carmel Car Audio, who has multiple world records, will build you a 6-order box for 618s, and he charges $100 an hour plus material. So, you know, you're probably looking at a couple $1,000, maybe $2,500. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be wicked badass. It's not going to be cheap. There's a lot of car audio places that'll do that, but you're going to have to pay them for it, and they're going to charge you a lot. I'm thinking about doing a separate job, doing a separate knob for the 2 amps, pushing the 412s in the cab. That would at least let him play one set or the other instead of all at once. Yeah, that might not be a bad plan. So bad, I don't know. Card obsessed. Pioneer radio for the win. Dolphin radio. Oh, the old Dolphin. Yeah, that's a good radio. That was a good Pioneer. Pioneer's real claim to fame was their ability to build a good tuner. Back when the radio was a thing, when the DJ would talk to you in that sweet, sexy voice and tell you about all the amazing sounds you were going to envelop yourself in with the stars shining at night, baby, and we're going to rock out with the cock out. That was the day. But that was the day, you know, and the Pioneer Super Tuner was extremely good. Their tuner was incredible. If you had a good car, if you had a good radio station with a good broadcast, uh, their tuner would give you a end result product that was as good as CD quality, if not better. It was always really, really good, and that wasn't everybody. Not everybody had a great tuner. Pioneer definitely had the king of the tuners, but I also absolutely hate Pioneer software on their newer head units. I hate it. It's horrible. Um, I always liked Sony. Sony was good. Sony still is good, but Sony has junk for software. It's good stuff. It sounds good, and it's functional and it's solid, but their interface is terrible. They just do not understand how to make something that's functional as far as software goes. Uh, let's see here. Scroll. Whoa, 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 whoa. Things are moving. Um, but yeah, the Dolphin radio was cool. Let's see here. I'm located in Springfield. I'm so bad. Well, I'm in Springfield, so there you go. Uh, way too far. Uh, let's see here. I'm so bad. You need to build it. What you need, build boxes near Springfield. So yeah, if you're in Springfield and you're looking for a box, I may have missed that, but yeah, just talk to Carmel and he'll hook you up, man. Get you in touch with Charles and y'all can talk about it. I'm throwing ballpark numbers out there, but I'm probably not far off. Uh, Designing it and building it is two completely different things. If you want to design, you can head to Eagle Designs. And my videos, there's a box designer down there and the link to that. Go there. Dustin can design the box for you. As far as building it, that's a whole different thing. Um, let's see here. Tyler. They're amazing. Only takes the software they use to match the output sound. Not the quality box. Gotcha. What else is going on down here? Tyler makes fire designs. I'll be running the Sky High FXXL. Not familiar with that. Tyler said, nice. Get the sheets from them, bro. They offer it for free with the purchase of their subs. Sky High is taking over. I want the new 24K baskets so bad. I don't know. I can't speak on those. Uh, hello, Airflow Concepts. Trying to get loud and move some air in a 2015 F-150 Super Crew. Nice truck. Currently powered by Hyophonics amp, roughly 2K with impedance rise, stock alternator, supplemental gain, flaps the wipers a bit. Yeah, that's not the amplifier you want to continue with, but I wouldn't be focused on that. I need to know a little bit more about your setup. First thing I would just guesstimate, and it's purely based on what you said already. I'm guessing that you probably have a power problem. You're probably running a stock alternator. You may have two batteries under the hood. So at best, you're able to pull 100 amps out of that constantly, which means about 1,000 watts maximum power. And then I don't know what you're doing box wise or anything else. There's a whole lot of stuff involved in that. There's many layers of things that need to happen. But no matter what you've done, no matter what you continue to do, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have a good solid power source. You're going to need, if you're wanting to really make wind, you're going to need to upgrade that alternator to a high output alternator. And you're going to need to run at least at minimum of 1 to 2 runs of alt gauge, positive and ground inside the vehicle from wherever your batteries are. You're also going to want to add a lithium battery of some sort very close to where the amplifier is going to be. I can suggest for probably get away with a 5K, but it all depends on what amps you actually end up using. You might need a 10K from Trunk Under Lithium or anybody else. I just use them because I know that the stuff is built right. I know I don't have to worry about suggesting you buy it and then having it crap out on you because the stuff is built right. It's built tough and it's built ridiculously strong. It's going to do the job, and that's why I point everybody in that direction. That's why I do business with them. Once you've acquired that much stuff, then you can figure out what kind of power and subs and enclosure. But there's just so many layers. It's like an onion, man. You can't just paint the outside layer. Once you peel it off, you're still left with the same onion. You've got to do every layer. It has to be done right. But yeah, you can absolutely get that thing windy as hell. I'd probably build like a half wall in it with like 4 to 6 subs back there, depending on what exactly you're running, and with maybe a window ledge box with the right amount of power and the right subs, you can get real windy inside that. There's just a lot of stuff that has to be done. It's not a simple process. Airflow Concepts again. What I recommend for sub and port orientation. Currently subs up, port back. Only 64 square inches in port area on 215s. That's about half of the port area, I think. I may be way off base saying that, though. It should be a windy port, that's for sure. And my only experience was with my F-150 and my extended cab, and I had subs forward, port forward. it was quite windy. And I was running 4 audio pipe 3-stack magnet subs, the 12s, and a port forward sub port box slot port. Um, I can't remember the port area on it though. And I was powering that with an Orion XTR 2500.1. And I had at the time a high output alternator off of a police car. It was the tough duty alternator, and I had 2 batteries under the hood and a third AGM in the back, and it was struggling hard to keep up with power. This is before we got into lithium heavy. I was still, experimenting with AGM, but that thing would generate so much force in the front that when you put your foot on the brake, it felt like the brake pedal was jumping up and down like an inch. Your foot it was crazy. When it played the lows, oh my God, that thing was slam. So you might do something like that. And we got good air movement up there too. A lot of good air movement, a lot of port action. Having the port fire forward is going to get you more wind, essentially. Having the port on the back of the box with the subs in the front is going to give you a little bit more low end. It's going to bring the overall tuning of the box down like a couple of steps. So if you tuned it to like 32 hertz, for example, and you have the port in the back and the subs in the front, you're going to probably wind up having a resulting tune of about 30 hertz. It's just the way that the waves interact with each other. If they're further away from each other when they come out, they tend to have a blending effect over distance. When you have the port and the subs both on the same side of the enclosure, you get a better blend of sound. You get less port chuff because the subs and the port tend to blend together better. It's going to play the tuning that your port's tuned at. It's going to play that pretty much. And then a little below and a little above. It's not going to have that slightly offset lower tuning that you would get by having the port in the back. So if you're running the port rear right now and you like the tuning, you may want to lower the port tuning like two numbers down, like 28 to 26 or whatever. Lower it down 2 numbers because it's not going to be as low by default. But you are going to get more wind with the port in the front. And I'm sure somebody else is already answering this question, and hopefully that I'm not saying some stupid crap. Hopefully I'm right, and I can't remember that port area. It's going to be decided by a whole lot of factors too, what subs they are and all that stuff. Most stable lithium front of the hood. I don't run lithium under the hood at all. And even though there are batteries out there that are designed for under the hood, I would suggest that you don't run any lithium under the hood at all. The temperature ranges are far too much of a swing. They do not need to be in that oven under the hood. They don't like that. So yes, I will not run any lithium at all under the hood, period. Yeah, there you go. Listen to Stu. There you go. Exactly what I said. Joey Garcia said Sony. Hey man, like I said, I don't have a problem with Sony. I just don't like their I don't like the interface. Their interfaces are always just so bad. It's like they're just bad, man. They have a horrible software. Alpine. I like Alpine speakers. I haven't had a much. I messed with a lot of Blah Punt radios back in the Dolphin days, and the 90s. I was always a big fan of Blah Punt head units back then. Usually get them pretty inexpensive, and they were really good head units. I wound up with them all the time. Yeah, excess power has underhood lithium, brother. You can put a stick of dynamite in a fireplace. That don't mean you should. Um, talk about Sony stuff, please. Man, it would all be old school. It would all be old school. If I go into the Sony, it would all be old school. I got a little bit of Sony stuff, but and well, I can tell you that their ES line right now is absolutely wicked good. I just got a chance to hear some the ES components, um, the ES 6x9s, and I'll put it this way. So there's a car audio shop that I go to. They sell quite a bit of stuff. And remember how I told you that, whenever you go to a place that sells a bunch of stuff and they make a board, but they don't actually sell radios, they always put a Kenwood in there because it's just awesome. Another way you can tell what the best sounding speakers are that a business sells. Walk in the door and look and see what speakers they have playing on their demo wall when you walk in. Unless they just had a customer over there wanting to move stuff around. If it's nice and dead and there's just people hanging out, pay attention to what speakers are playing. So this one store, every time I've gone in there, the Sonys are turned on, and they got stuff. They got focals and shit in that wall. They got all kinds of wicked speakers in that wall. A whole lot of really expensive speakers, and the Sonys are always the ones that are turned on every time. Enough said. They're the ES, the Sony ES speakers. They really are good sounding speakers. Super Tuna 3, yep. And you're right, man. Interface, it is. Interface is everything. I don't care how good it is. If I can't figure out how to find this crap I need, how to do the thing I want to do, it's worthless. It may as well not be there. The function may not be. It may as well not exist. If I can't find it, it doesn't exist. And building a good interface is everything. I mean, look at Windows, right? I mean, is there other operating systems that are more stable? Sure. Is there more operating systems that are less expensive? Yes. Maybe more efficient. Maybe they do things better. Maybe they're just better operating systems. But everybody knows how to use the damn thing. Windows, they figured out how to put everything in places where people can find it. It all makes sense. Getting to the stuff makes sense. Anybody trying to build an operating system tries to copy it because it's really good. The interface is everything. It's everything. Jason said Marcus Optima makes a LiPo 4 battery for under the hood, but not for car audio, just for stock vehicles. For more extreme use like car audio, keep the battery in a cooler location. That's a more educated way of saying don't put shit under the hood. Thank you, Jason. Yep, exactly. I agree with that too. Airflow. Let's see what he says about this. Airflow. What net airspace does each 15 get? 4 cubes each. That'd be 8 square inches per cube. Pretty small for a slot port. Might be good with a round port though. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that was about half size for a slot port. I was hoping I wasn't wrong about that because my brain just said, "Hey, that looks like about half as big as it should be." But I think, from what I remember, for a real windy build, that's not terribly far off. You want to go with a smaller port. It's going to make noise. That's one of the things about a 6, though, because you have that low port, but it's in the back chamber. And by the time it comes out, it's got a chance to mix. And so you don't get the noise. It kind of forgiving how that works. But when you're doing a ported enclosure, that port is right there. It's giving you its stuff right in your face. So, of course, you got the port firing back. Well, that helps. because I mean, port noise is a real thing. If you don't believe me, just roll your window down, half inch, and see how long before your brain gets tired of hearing that sound as the wind blows over that hole in your window. That's freaking port noise. That's exactly what you get. Um, and it's deep. I actually got it. I've had a chance to play around with an adjustable port, and I managed to get my port to honk at me. And I noticed it was loud. It got loud, right? But it honked. It had a honk to it. It sounded like a horn. It sounded like a tuba. It was an unusual sound. It was very deep, but it was also extremely annoying. So I quickly got away from that. Port noise is a real thing. You got to deal with it. You've either got to make it not exist, or you got to make it. You got to hide it to where you don't hear it. One of those two things. You will not want to hear it. You won't want to hear it. It's not going to be happy. It'll make you very unhappy. Blob punt was great in the day when they were competing with Panasonic. Not so much. Yeah, I can't speak on the modern blob punt, but back in the day, man, they were good radios. Some more info here. Current enclosure for each 15 is 2.4 cubes, tuned roughly to 31.1. Using the box made for 12s. Yeah, that's always it should do some pretty good sound pressure though. Sound SPL tends to have small enclosures tuned high, which this one is not. But small enclosures tuned high tend to play well into SPL. They do not do well on lows, and they also require more power. Small enclosures require more power because you're having to move and you run the risk of damaging soft parts and all sorts of things. But let's read what he has here. 2.4 cubes tuned to 31.1. That's very precise. I know it's small, but I'm using box made for 12s, cut out for 15s. Honestly, I'm impressed with these 15s. Yeah. The advantage of that small enclosure is that it's going to soak up power better. And I mean, you may just get lucky, and have something that sounds good because you got your cabin gain already. That's going to help with your lows. You'll be way happier with a larger enclosure, though. I'll tell you that for sure. A larger enclosure is going to substantially increase the happiness factor. You're going to gain a lot from getting that airspace up some. CAE, Sky High FXX. That is a horrible name, dude. That is an absolutely horrible name. FXXL. It's just, it don't roll off the tongue. 18 is a 5K, 5,000 watt RMS sub. Son. Going to have 6 on 220K amps. Yes, sir. That should do things. That should absolutely do things. Nice. Jason said, yeah, 2.4 is really small. They're going to lose output if frequency goes down. That's what I said. I've got 215s and a 3.2. 3.2 is actually just a teeny bit small for a 15. I'll be like, it's about right, actually. 3.25 to 3.5 is a good number most of the time. It varies, though. Some 15s like 6 cubic feet. I mean, but yeah. Ported them to 20 hertz. Ooh, I'd love to hear that, Jason. That sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah, don't let the port chuff. Yep, that is a big one. The Black Diamond made by DS18. Oh, okay. 3.5 cubic feet per sub. That's what I'm more used to hearing is something like that. I'm going to be running 3.25 cubic feet per sub in my 6th order, but that recommendation comes from Alan at Slapz. I asked him about it. He said, this is what I want you to run for your 6th. Specifically, he said 3.25 cubic feet specifically for the subs. And so that's what I'm running exactly. It's always good when the guy that owns the company tells you what size subs to run for your specific build. Yeah, you kind of got to go with that, right? I got to do some research on those. Hell yeah. Let's see. No problem, Marcus. Yes, my friend have 2 of them on 15K. Awesome. Search it. Blah Punt makes axes now. That's great, man. I should get a Blah Punt axe hanging on the wall. I would totally rock one. Airflow. That sounds better. Maybe a pair of 6-inch cylindrical ports. Yeah. And you really can drastically cut down on your port size by using a round port, especially a flared end round port, like from big ass ports, for example. But you can still get into that port noise if you don't watch it. So don't go too small. You have to, the trick to getting wind though, one of the tricks to getting wind is having a port that is smaller than it should be, but also not so small as it's going to start making a bunch of noise. It's a really fine line you got to walk, and that's where that, yeah, it's just good times, man. You gotta experiment, and you gotta learn, and you gotta make mistakes, and you gotta do all the things. You know, that's just how it works. If by axes you mean door stops, that's awesome, man. You guys are so fun. I love hanging out with y'all. Y'all keep me entertained. Good times. We've been on there for a couple of hours tonight, guys, and I'm gonna have to go visit the refrigerator again, because I think there is some strawberry cheesecake in there, and I've been thinking about it. So, you know, and I got my blood sugar is just way too low. I'm really lying. I see my pins. I have these things, these little wonderful devices. It's got the stuff inside. You guys aren't hip to that, man. Check it out. I'll show you. Wait a minute. Let's see. We'll crank up the light factor in here. So you get these little hats, right? Yeah, we'll do one. You got the pin. You screw the hat on here. Oh, yeah, we're going to do it. We're doing this. We are doing this. The shit's happening. You pull the hat off, and then you got another hat on the inside. You pull that hat off, and then you got the business end. And it's just a little pokey bit. And then I have to set mine to 40. So you crank the bass knob. You crank the bass knob up to 40 in the window. And then we do the injection. Go ahead and do that while I'm thinking about it. So it's easier than the old syringe in a bottle trick. But these damn pins, now our insurance pays for them. You throw the needle away. Every time it's just one use needle, you put the hat back on and you're done. Those damn pins are like $60 a box or some crazy crap. They're ridiculously expensive. So if your insurance company is not paying for them, you don't want to mess with those things. Let's see here. All right, I'm just looking through the messages here. Franco Quay, Joel Garcia said good night. Franco Quay said, hey, have a great night. Love the show. I appreciate all of you guys for stopping by. And always love it. Don't you still need to swab the skin with alcohol? Yes, you're supposed to scrub the skin with alcohol. I do not swab my skin with alcohol, so I'm going to die from some sort of infection. Let's get the duck out of here, baby. You know how we do it.
Out here banging up and down the street, slamming it to the ground. Big subwoofers are getting loud. You can feel the booming sound. getting ready to go. Got it shined up for the show. Hours charging, amps are amping, gonna let the woofers blow. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. We got more at home. Another one bites the dust.
Just duck it, baby. Just duck it.
Eyes are glowing and the amps smoking. Subs are cherry red. Let me keep jamming. Gotta keep the bass line. Gonna go hard till they're dead. Full power, gotta let it go. 20 hertz in the floating air. Sparks are flying, voice cores are frying, and the smoke is in the air.
Fireflies.
Another one bites the dust.
If it gets away, didn't tie her up tight enough.
Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. Hey, we got more at home. Another one bites the dust.